faithful 49er Empire, red and gold diehard fans. What's good? You know who it is. It's your boy, Jay in the Bay. And what a pleasure it is to be on live in front of all the red and gold fans right now. And this couldn't be possible without my co-host today, Darian. And I got to thank you for letting me get onto your platform, the Spotlight Sports Network. And Darian, how was your Thanksgiving, bro?
My Thanksgiving was pretty good. I mean, just want to make sure all the people that's watching, make sure make sure my audio is good. But
Yeah.
it's been an honor it's been an honor, being on finally, being on a live stream with you. Welcome you to the Spotlight Sports Network. My holiday was pretty good, man. How was yours?
Mine was pretty good. It wasn't like your normal Thanksgiving due to what's going on right now, but I was still able to get some good grub from my dad. We still were able to see each other, but we just didn't have that sit down like we normally would. But other than that, everything was good. But 49er faithful, that was an incredible win against the Los Angeles Rams and down in SoCal. That was incredible. The Niners were on a 3-game losing streak. The bye couldn't have come. It was the perfect time for the bye. Don't you think, Faithful? I mean, we were on a 3-game losing streak. The guys got a chance to get away from the game for a little bit. The coaching staff got a chance to prepare for the Rams, and they got extra time to prepare for the Rams. And I think that definitely stood out. And that was the reason why we had a victory on Sunday against the LA Rams. What'd you think of the game, Darren?
I'm not going to even lie to you, Jay. I did not pick the 49ers to win this game. I did not pick the 49ers to win this game.
Honesty is the best policy.
And listen, I'm going to be real. And when we did our morning show, I thought the Rams, coming off of a big win last week and how their offense was flowing, how their defense was playing well, I was kind of nervous for the 49ers, knowing y'all so depleted at both sides of the ball. You don't have your number one quarterback in Garoppolo. Moser is I don't know how long he's going to be out. Tevin Coleman, then you get Deebo Samuel back, so you subtract to add. So
tuck your chain, baby, tuck your chain. Right.
I gotta tuck the chain, man. But I mean, I gotta say, I should have picked the 49ers, man. I should have picked them because I know how the Rams are. They come off a big win, and then they come out and stink it up the next week. So I should have picked the 49ers. But congratulations, man. You made most of our days because I think anybody on the whole team on the Spotlight Sports Network did not pick.
Right. Like they say, the next man up mentality, and that encompasses the 49ers season so far. I mean, we got Bosa was out, Solomon Thomas was out. I mean, we know the names that were out, but it's all about the guys that came back. And, Sherman came back, Mostert came back, Deebo. I mean, they all had magnificent performances, and they all, contributed to the win. And it was basically incredible to see. But you know what? I have a feeling Rams fans aren't going to like this, but I have a feeling that the Niners have their number. And the reason I say that is because if you look at the last 4 games the Niners have played the Rams, we've won. I think Robert Saleh has figured out McVay's offense. He's clearly figured out Goff. I mean, if you look at Goff's stats, the first game we played this year against Goff, he was only 19 of 38. He only completed 50% of his passes. The second game, Goff was a little bit better completion percentage-wise. I believe he was like 21 of 34, but we forced 2 turnovers. And Goff, did you see – you might not saw it, but people watched the game. Goff, he tried to fake out Jimmy Ward, and Jimmy Ward punched the ball out. That was a great play by veteran and Jimmy Ward. And I just feel like the Niners defense, they own Jared Goff. And I feel like whenever he sees the Niners on the schedule, he's in for a long day. And I think we proved that today, on Sunday.
Well, before I get my my analysis on it, Colts and Heat Talk said, will the 49ers make the playoffs? They have a realistic shot at getting there. That's a question that we are going to ask. But I feel like the 49ers still have a chance the way this NFC is shaping up, knowing the Eagles lost last night, and then, the Seahawks winning.
Your mic is a little choppy. I don't know if anyone
I don't know why is it choppy. I might end up getting on from my phone if that's the case. But I think let me try getting on from my phone, and then I'll come back in.
But I'll go into I'll go into why. 3 reasons why the Niners came out on top and won that game against the Rams. The first
Okay,
reason
I'll
is,
be
as I
right back.
mentioned before, we turned the ball over. We turned the ball over. We forced several turnovers against the Rams. Jimmy Ward played huge. He had 2 forced fumbles, and also we forced Jared Goff to throw 2 interceptions. The defense kept us in the game when the offense was struggling, and they came through with us. And that was a magnificent performance by the Red and Gold Niners. It was so good to have Sherman back. And you could just tell the other side when Verrett was there. Obviously, he's been playing great, but the other side, opposite of Verrett, you could tell that there was a void there. We weren't as good as we were when Sherman's not in there, and you can tell the difference when Sherman is there and Verrett is there. It changes the whole complexity of the defense, especially when the front 4 of the 49ers defense is getting there. I mean, Kerry Hyder. I mean, faithful. Let's be real. I didn't even know who Kerry Hyder was before the season started. I don't know too many people that did. But Kerry Hyder, I mean, he's playing a hell of a game. He got 2 sacks against the Rams, and he's one of the reasons why Jared Goff is uncomfortable in the pocket, and that's the key. That was one reason why we won. Back to that. We also won the time of possession against the Rams. So this was one of the keys I felt in my prediction for the Niners and Rams games. Faithful, red and gold. We got to win the time of possession, and that's what we did. So we had 34 minutes to the Rams 25 minutes. And the way we won the time of possession is we were able to run the ball consistently, and that allowed us to keep. We were converting. We actually, honestly, we didn't convert on third downs that well. I think we're only like 3 of 14 third down conversions, but we still kept the ball. We converted, obviously 3 times, and then also was one thing that's underrated. And I appreciate you guys in the comments. I see you, Key, in the building. I see you, Butcher's Block, Patriots Talk. Appreciate you guys for coming on with me and joining me. I see you, Colts and Heat Talk, Knights Golden. What's up? But one thing that's underrated that I haven't really heard anyone is Mitch. You guys are like, who's Mitch? Mitch, the punter for the Niners. So not only did he have 7 punts, his average yardage for the punts he punted was 50 yards. He punted 2 of them, which landed in the 20-yard line. And what that means is it's field position. So not only was time of possession key, we forced turnovers, but the field position. So we forced the Rams to travel the field longer than they would like. So if you force them, if they're inside their own 20, they have, 80 plus yards to travel to try to get a touchdown, So that was one thing too. Shout out Mitch. And of course, Debo. Debo Samuel was a beast. Obviously, we know, like, Debo, when he's not in the game, the 49ers offense just isn't the same. It's just clear. It's not the same. As we welcome Darian back, hopefully your signal's clear. But Debo, he's a beast. Better now? He's got 11 catches, 133 yards, and he was the biggest factor on offense. Even Mostert had the touchdown, but he didn't have the great yardage per carry that he normally has. I think he only averaged under 3. But Mostert was just getting back from injury. But it was so good to have Debo back. He set the tone physically. I know you saw it, Faithful. I know you guys saw that play where Debo caught the ball. It was a little like 5-yard slant, 5-yard out. And there were 2 defenders there. And he just ran over them. The Rams defenders thought they could just arm tackle Debo. You can't arm tackle Debo, baby. Like, that was so funny. Like, that's what Debo brings to the table that not too many other wide receivers bring. He kind of reminds me, honestly, of like a Hines Ward or Steve Smith. Like, he brings punishment to the defenders, and that's something that's something that wide receivers rarely bring. And I'm so glad to have Debo on the team. And also, I got to mention Nick Mullins.
Can y'all hear me clearly?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly now. Yeah, right. I can hear you clearly now. Yep. We got to talk about Nick Mullins. I thought Nick Mullins would have a few throws in him, and he proved that. Nick Mullins, some passes. He was 24-35. He threw that 1 pick. But other than that, I mean, he played solid. He didn't play great, but he played good enough to win. He had those 2 drives in the 4th quarter at the end of the game that allowed us to get into field goal range, and Robbie Gould kicked that game-winning field goal. But shout out to Nick Mullins. He played hard. He got the ball. He did miss a few throws in the beginning with Jordan Reed. They weren't on the same page, but maybe it was just a little nerves. Obviously, Nicky's going to be starting for us for the rest of the season, and I can't wait to see him progress in the rest of the games.
Well, Debo been playing really well before he got injured. That was one of those guys that was just when he went down with an injury earlier in the season, I was just like, darned. I mean, Debo was coming on in his rookie year, and I think Debo Samuel is going to be around a long time. Give him somebody opposite of him. I say the 49ers would definitely be good at the wide receiver position. I thought y'all was really going to go after Bryan. That's what I thought, because I thought he would fit more into your offense than he does with Baltimore, but y'all didn't pull the trigger on him, so Debo is going to be your guy for a while.
Definitely. I think when you put, Debo together, you put Ayuk, you put the Ayuk show. So Debo, Ayuk, you put Kittle, you got Mostert. It's like I feel like we have a whole bunch of weapons. And as long as we run the ball first, that's what Kyle Shanahan wants to do. I saw a stat that Kyle Shanahan was like 30-0 when the Niners run for 30 plus carries a game. And this game, we ran the ball more than 30 times and we won. So that's the key to success for the Niners offense. But speaking of the offense, I got to give another shout out to the defense. Richard Sherman's impact, not only on the field, in the locker room, in the huddle, defensive huddle, is huge. And he proved that. He got that interception. He plays physical at the line. He's not going to be, your speed corner. He's not going to be able to run with Tyreek Hill, but he's good against the run. And he can still cover, especially in the zone coverage, and that's what Saleh likes to do. But also, I got to give a big shout out to Kerry Hyder. He had those 2 sacks. He's definitely been coming on. He's a surprise, as I mentioned before. I had never even heard of Kerry Hyder, but he's paying off. And also Jimmy Ward. Jimmy Ward had those 2 forced fumbles, and we're going to need turnovers. The defense is going to have to lead this team in order to achieve success. The defense and a running game. Did you want to add anything?
When it comes to this 49ers defense, like Richard Sherman, like I said before, Richard Sherman is one of the best corners of all time in our generation. Now, I wouldn't say all time, just all time, but he's up there in the talks when it comes to his time with Seattle, and then he went to come play in San Francisco, where he played most of his college ball at Stanford. So Richard Sherman, it was a big piece of your defense coming back, knowing that you lost a lot of key pieces on the defensive side, and to have him as a leader and to help improve these young guys, it definitely showed on the field against the Rams. So, shout out to the defense for doing what they're supposed to do, and shout out to the offense for not letting Aaron Donald
breaking up a little bit.
It's the internet, bro. I can't really do much.
No worries.
About it.
No worries. I appreciate you coming on, man. No worries. I wanted to mention that. See, the funny now it's clear, but when you was talking, it was breaking up. But I have to mention, I want to give credit to the Rams. They're a good team. Goff just had a bad game. He had 2 bad games against the Niners, but they're still a good team. And I gotta give, but I can't leave this guy out. It's Aaron Donald. I mean, we're watching a Hall of Famer play right before our eyes. I hope everyone appreciates it. Aaron Donald, the first game, he was non-existent against the Niners in October. He only had 2 tackles. Second game, it was almost like we called him out, but he definitely responded in the second game. I mean, if you watch the game, he literally kept the Rams defense in the game. When the Niners were trying to score touchdowns. Like he had, let me look at the stats. So he had 5 combined tackles. He had 1 forced fumble. He had 1 play in the first quarter where he jumped up at the line of scrimmage. The ball hit his hands and forced the interception. Like he was wrecking the game. So I got to give props to Aaron Donald. We're watching the Hall of Famer, and I hope everyone appreciates him because he's one of the great defensive linemen easily of the last 20 years. He's definitely a first ballot Hall of Famer. And the Niners, he was wrecking the game, and we were able to unfortunately win the game. But shout out to Aaron Donald, he's a beast, and I would love to have him. I'm sure any NFL GM, any owner would love to have him on his team. So just shout out to Aaron Donald.
When you got a triple team a guy like Aaron Donald, then that's an issue. That guy's a monster. Where you have to triple team him on the offensive line.
Yeah, he's a beast. He wrecks havoc on that Rams D line. And so I wanted to mention a few other things. Thanks for having me on once again, Darian from the Spotlight Sports Network. I appreciate you having me on, and this wouldn't be possible without you and the Spotlight Network. And I wanted to mention something else. We had some, breaking news involving the 49ers recently. The Santa Clara County has basically, ruled out any contact sports for the next 3 weeks. So unfortunately, the 49ers won't be able to practice, in their home stadium at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. They won't be. I'm assuming they'll be able to even be with their families within the next 3 weeks. I'm assuming they're going to have to fly to Arizona and play, where the Arizona Cardinals play, the State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. So this is definitely, it's devastating news. They're not going to be able to see their families for the next 3 weeks. And unfortunately, we do have a home to play in for the next 3 weeks, but it just sucks that Santa Clara County kind of, ripped the rug out for them. Like they weren't, they weren't in the loop. And I know the Niners, they're big business. They don't necessarily need to receive, special treatment or whatever. But, it just sucks that we can't play in our home stadium. And I feel like, in order, the NFL teams, they have to follow strict orders. Now, obviously, a few teams have gotten popped for COVID tests, being positive, but it seems like all it takes is one person to not follow protocol. And, there's an outbreak. So I feel like, the Niners, they test their players every day. The coaching staff gets tested. They got to wear masks around the facilities. So I feel like the Niners are doing everything they can do possibly. So it just sucks that, Santa Clara County kind of took this away from them. But at least we got a home to play in Arizona. And I actually looked this up. So we're only, unfortunately, in that specific stadium, we've only got 6 wins to 8 losses. So hopefully in the next 3 weeks, we can, stack up some wins and we'll have a winning record playing there. Because so far we haven't been, we're not over 500 so far in that stadium. So I thought that was interesting. But appreciate you, Darian, for having me on once again. Spotlight Sports Network. Thanks for having me on. This is your boy Jay in the Bay, and I can't wait to do this again. And I'm so glad the Niners pulled out a victory against the Rams. The Rams had won 2 straight. We were on a 3-game losing streak, so it's good to see our guys bounce back. And I'm looking forward to next week against the Buffalo Bills.
Now we can talk about that game, with the Buffalo Bills, but I want to speak how I feel about. I know it's probably going to sound choppy regardless, but even when I replay it, it probably won't sound like that. But what they doing in Santa Clara, I thought it was messed up for the 49ers. I really thought, because like y'all play so well at home, it's like now you got to share the field with the Arizona Cardinals when you do play them again. So who's going to really be the home team? So then you got to, from what I heard, it was 5 weeks and not 3. So I don't know how long they're going to be out in Arizona for, but I just feel like you could have put them anywhere else but in your own. Can you hear me now? Am I? Let me. What's up? Y'all hear me now?
It's still, you're still breaking up. Maybe try without the mic.
I tried it without the mic already just to see what would happen. I'll try to let me check the audio on the YouTube just to see if it's just inside our queue.
Now I can hear you. Okay.
It sounds good the way I'm talking right now, right?
Right now, yeah, you sound good.
All right, because I mean, this internet is this internet and this technology is weird, man.
Dang,
but
now it's breaking up. I don't know why. It's like,
let me check the audio on YouTube. People that's in the chat, do I sound good? Just let me know, because this is our first time doing this. So let me know if let them know. Let us know in the audio. I'm about to check on YouTube from my headphones. Let me just try to check that.
Yeah, sometimes you sound good, and then other times it breaks out. I don't know why. Sorry, guys. We're having technical difficulties. But I appreciate everyone in the chat. I see you, Harden54. I see you, Livy's World, Trap X Gaming, Colts and Heat Talk, Key in the Building, Butcher's Block, and Patriots Talk. Appreciate you guys watching. Knights Golden. I'm glad you guys enjoyed this 49er talk, and I can't wait to do it again real soon. I appreciate you guys. Are you going to do the ad?
So as of right now, everybody in the chat saying that is good. So it's technically from in between our queue. So if it's choppy on your end, they can still hear me clearly on the YouTube. So Yeah, so Harden 54 just said it might be your headphones. Mistakenly, I'm not too sure, but at the end of the day, the 49ers should be able to play in their own home, man. The 49ers should not be homeless.
Okay. So
And if you want to actually put them in a stadium, you could have put them anywhere on the West Coast, but you put them with a division rival. Like, come on. Like, you could have had them share it with Las Vegas, honestly. California is more closer to Las Vegas than it is Arizona. That's an easy ride up the street. You could have put them anywhere on the West Coast. I'm just saying, but you put them with the Arizona Cardinals, which is a division rival. It's a setup. I don't like what the NFL did with that. I just don't.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't, that wasn't right for the NFL to do. But at the end of the day, the NFL, it's a big money machine. They're going to have to, they want to keep pushing, continue to have these games played. But yeah, I mean, the Niners, we had our COVID tests and they made us play on Thursday night, against the Packers. And then for the Ravens, I mean, you got to admit, though, the Ravens, they had a massive outbreak. Like, I think it was like 19, 20 players that.
Yeah, 19 players on the list.
Yeah, so, I mean, I guess, that's pretty extreme. So I guess they had to do the extreme thing. And instead of making them play, move the game to it's Wednesday now, right?
Yeah. Yep, it's tomorrow.
Tomorrow. And Lamar Jackson, do you know if he's playing or?
Lamar Jackson will not be playing tomorrow. So they had to reschedule, like they had to fix the schedule for the whole week 13 because of this game being played on Wednesday. So a lot of times has been changed for the NFL. But my question for you is, Jay and the Bay, knowing that you did get this win over the Rams and in an actual dramatic fashion, how do you feel that your 49ers match up with the Buffalo Bills?
Yeah, so for some reason on my end, it sounds breaking up, so it must be something with my mic and my phone. I did hear you say you had a question. Can you repeat it? Let me see if I can hear
it said how do you feel the 49ers match up with the Buffalo Bills?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So the 49ers match up against the Buffalo Bills. It should be interesting. I mean, I can't wait. It's Monday night prime time. So I can't wait to see them play against the Bills. It'll be an interesting matchup. The Niners defense this season has struggled with mobile quarterbacks. You look at Kyler Murray, you look at Russell Wilson, and we struggled against those types of quarterbacks, especially like containing them in the pocket, keeping them in the pocket, making them want to throw. Because when quarterbacks get outside the pocket, usually they're very hard. Obviously, we gave up contain, and now they're free to either run with the ball, try to get a first down, or they can throw to an open receiver. So I believe Josh Allen, quarterback for the Bills, that's something he can do. He's mobile, but he can also throw from the pocket. And they have, good running game. They got, Stephon Diggs, who they traded for, who was with Minnesota. They traded for him in the offseason. So that's going to be a tough matchup. That's going to be a good matchup for either Sherman or Verrett. Stephon Diggs is a threat. I want to say he leads the league in receiving, or he's top 5 in receiving. So Stephon Diggs is a problem. We're definitely going to have our hands full. And, the Bills, they're a good team. Defensively, they got a good D-line. They got Tre'Davious White, a cornerback in the secondary. So it's going to be a tough matchup. Obviously, I think we're going to put out our best. And I feel like Shanahan has a coaching advantage over Scott McDermott. And I'm looking forward to the matchup.
That's going to be a good matchup, man. I haven't picked a team who's going to win yet. I know Buffalo did win on Sunday, and so did y'all. So y'all both coming in back on a winning streak. So my only thing is about this matchup. How do you feel Richard Sherman will hold up against Stephon Diggs? They're going to put Sherman on the number 1 receiver. Yeah. So how do you feel knowing that Sherman just came back off injury, did have a great game against, the Rams, but how do you feel Sherman will match up against a Stephon Diggs that has been playing well this year in a proven year, knowing he did get traded from the Minnesota Vikings?
That's a great question. We all know Richard Sherman, he's not his best asset is not his speed, his best asset is, his IQ for the game, his physicalness, and I think Saleh will put him in a position to succeed. And I don't think we'll see, him against Diggs in man-to-man coverage. I don't think that's necessarily a good idea. I think maybe if it's man coverage, you put Verrett on Diggs, or if you put Sherman on Diggs in man coverage, maybe you double over the top with Moore or Jimmy Ward. But I think Saleh knows his defensive strengths and weaknesses, and I don't think he's going to put them in a position to fail.
Well, you was on the money with that because you know how I feel about Richard Sherman when it comes to speedsters. That's my only thing. Like we saw it in the Super Bowl, man. We saw it in the Super Bowl. Yeah, but I mean, I feel like the 49ers still got a chance in this NFC. The NFC is wide open when it comes to the wild card. Mind you, we do have two more teams. I think it's one more team. I think it's like 7 teams that could go in the playoffs now, not 6. If it's 7 or 8, if I'm not mistaken. But if y'all can make one of those, if y'all can make one of those spots, and then y'all might get healthy at the end of the year.
That would be an incredible for sure.
Yeah, that'd be incredible. Like knowing that y'all are 5 and 7, 5 and 6 right now.
5 and 6 right now. Yeah.
Y'all still got a chance knowing that your schedule is not. I mean, I don't think your schedule is that tough going down the stretch.
We got the Buffalo Bills off the top of my head. We got the Buffalo Bills Monday night. I believe we have. I don't know if it's this in this exact order, but we got Washington, we got Dallas, and I believe we play Arizona. And I think those are the 4 off the top of my head we play. So that's none of those teams. I mean, Dallas, they still have talent. They haven't been able to put it together this year, but they still have talent. And obviously the Bills are a good team. Arizona, Kyler Murray's a problem, but Kyler Murray, he's been banged up. I believe he has an AC joint, something in his shoulder, so he's not, playing as well as he was in the beginning of the year. But Arizona's still a problem. The defense isn't great, but they can force turnovers. They fly around the ball, and they're definitely a problem. So there's not going to be any easy games. Even when you talk about the team that doesn't have a name, the Washington football team, they're going to be a problem. The defense line is legit. Chase Young, he ain't nothing to play with. I mean,
that defense is really good for Washington.
Yeah, they have first rounders all in their defensive line. I couldn't name you who their linebackers are, but if they can get pressure on Nick Mullins, that could be a long day for Nick. So there's not really an easy game on the schedule. We pretty much have to win out in order to even think about the playoffs. And honestly, I just want us to take it game by game. I'm not really concerned about the playoffs. I'm just glad to see that the team is still playing hard and giving out max effort. That's, as fans, that's all we can really ask for.
Right. Right, because I know that you see is Buffalo, Washington, Dallas, Cardinals, and Seahawks. So the last 2 games are going to be tough. Arizona and Seattle. I think I don't know. You can say, you don't have to say this, but I'm gonna say it for you. I guarantee a win over the Cowboys. Because the Cowboys stink. I'm sorry to say, Cowboys stink. I'm booking it right now. That's your only guaranteed win. It's going to be a tough game against the Washington football team and a tough game against the Buffalo Bills. But out of those last 5 games, the Cowboys is the easiest win for y'all. They have the worst defense in the NFL. I think you can run all over that Dallas Cowboys defense. Their offense is just not good either. I mean, they got the weapons. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. Cowboys got stars, but they just don't have their quarterback. That's what makes them trash.
Yeah, and the Cowboys, I don't get it. They always have talent every year, and they just can never put it together. I don't know what it is, but the thing is, when you got the talent, you have to have something else behind that. You have to have that certain mentality. For some reason, the Cowboys don't have it. But like you said, there's no easy game. I mean, I hate to bring this up to you, but look at your silver and black, baby. Look at your Raiders. I mean, they went to Atlanta. They went to Atlanta, and they thought they could just show up and say, hey, we got our silver and black. We got our beautiful uniforms on, and y'all just going to bow down to us. But that didn't come to fruition. The Falcons came in, they're under their interim head coach, Raheem Morris, and got them playing with heart, with passion, and they put it to y'all. But I think this is a wake-up call for the Raiders because we know the same thing happened last year. They played the Jets, got blown out. But hopefully this is a wake-up call for your Raiders. And y'all got the Jets. Y'all got the winless Jets. Y'all should be able to beat them. So hopefully – and I'm picking Derek Carr on my fantasy, so hopefully he performs. But anyway, I feel like y'all should be able to beat the Jets. And they're winless team. The coach is probably going to get fired. So I think y'all should definitely bounce back.
It's a lot of speculation going on about my Raiders, man. It's a lot of speculation going on about my Raiders, man. How John Gruden felt like we was prepared to win that. We was prepared for that Atlanta Falcons game. Derek Carr disagrees that he wasn't prepared for that game. And just to let you know, knowing that today is only Tuesday, he just had his baby daughter. He just had another child. So I don't know if that was a distraction. Yeah, he just had another daughter. He just had one. I think it was yesterday. Yeah, he just had a daughter yesterday. Wow. So I don't know if that was a distraction, knowing that his wife was in labor, his mom wasn't on the game.
Right.
I don't know. I'm not making no excuses for him. He played poorly, and the team played poorly overall. So we got to bounce back. And just a little story. I was at the Jets game last year where we got blown out, and I left in like 10 minutes into the fourth because we was getting blown out by the Jets. Mind you, we were 6-5 going into MetLife. Same thing is going in. We 6-5. We going into MetLife. Hopefully, this is a wake up call. Because even though that we are in Vegas, we still the other team in the Bay. And I know the Niners fans don't like Raiders fans. Raiders fans don't like Niners fans. But I don't get into all that. Only time I get into all that is with my brother. My brother's a 49ers fan. He want to talk about the Raiders all the time. And we argue all the time about that. But, 49ers is doing what they doing, man. I see the 49ers making the playoffs.
Yeah. And it's funny. Like, when I was in high school, there was that Niner Raider. But I'm grown now, so I want to see the Raiders do well. Like, it doesn't sadden me. It doesn't hurt me to see the Raiders do well. I want to see the Raiders do well. Of course, I wish they was in Oakland, but they got a brand new stadium, brand new palace in Vegas. I can't wait to go up there when the Niners Raiders, like, for either a preseason game or a regular season game. So I think that'll be.
We need to get our lick back too. We need to get our payback too. Before y'all blowed us out on prime time, man.
I think the last time we played, I think we had Kaepernick at quarterback. I think we lost.
Mullins was your quarterback, and he demolished us.
Wait, it was you said it was Mullins, right? You said
it was Mullins. Mullins was the quarterback when y'all played the last time y'all played us.
For some reason, I don't remember.
Mullins had a career day that day. Mullins had a career day that day. I think he had about 400 passing yards on us that day.
Wow.
Let me look up that. Let me look up that stat. Let me look up that stat just to make sure. I don't want to be wrong about that. So let me look that up real quick. Let me see here.
Because I don't remember that game.
Yup, the last time we played.
My game.
Yeah, y'all beat us 34-3 on November 1st, 2018.
Wow. So that was the year that Jimmy G got hurt. I think that was the same season. Jimmy G got the torn ACL. I believe that was 2018. Yeah. So okay, yeah.
It wasn't really a career day for Nick Mullins, but he was 16 of 22, 262 yards to 3 touchdowns and no interceptions.
Wow. That's pretty good. We'll need that type of performance moving on in the season, in order to wrap our wins. That's for sure.
Y'all was 2-7 at the time. We was 1-7 at the time, and it was 34-3 in 2018.
So it was two terrible teams playing each other.
Yeah, we were bad then, man. We were bad. We couldn't win a game to save our life, man. We both went into the game 1-7. Y'all end up getting that second win, and I don't know what the Raiders helped. I don't know what happened with them after that. So,
yeah, but I'm sure you guys will right the ship. It's funny because you guys are 6-5 now.
Yeah, we're 6-5, and we still got to play Indianapolis. We still got to play Miami. We still got to play the Jets. Unfortunately. We still have to play Denver again and the Chargers again.
Yeah, so y'all got a tough schedule. Just like the Niners, there ain't no easy games on there. I know you say Dallas is easy, but the guys, they got pride. As far as the Cowboys, I think they have pride. They're getting paid a check. No one wants to get blown out. I think even for instance, last night's game, Seattle and Philly. Philly came out. Philly's defense wasn't playing around. It was hitting Seattle. DK Metcalf had a career game. Shout out to him. He's a beast. But Philly wasn't playing around because those guys have heart. no one wants to get blown out on national TV, but unfortunately, the Eagles' offense, they just couldn't, pull their weight. But the Eagles' defense was balling.
Now, just imagine if one of our teams did not pass up on DK Metcalf. Just imagine. Right? Both of our teams passed up on a DK Metcalf. And mind you, if the 49ers would have got Metcalf and then the next year they would have got Deebo Samuel, your wide receiver core is set. To me, it's set because you got Deebo and you got DK. Oh my God. And you just gave a weapon to Garoppolo to make sure he get his money's worth. Same thing for Derek Carr. If Derek Carr would have had Antonio Brown, if we still had Antonio Brown and DK Metcalf. What?
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah. Woo. That'd have been insane. Defense would definitely be in trouble. And DK late first round pick.
63rd overall.
The 60, you said 63rd?
63rd overall.
The second round pick. So so a lot of teams passed up on him twice. So they definitely are set in Seattle. And Seattle is definitely a problem. And for years to come, especially whenever you got Russell Wilson there, ever since he was drafted to Seattle, he's always been a problem. He's always been a thorn in our side. Even with Harbaugh, Chip Kelly, it's always been a great match to watch, great football teams to watch. But it's always I'm on the edge of my seat, I'm sweating, and like Russell Wilson, he's a beast. Much respect to him. So,
and this is why I say the NFC West is the toughest division in football.
Oh,
if all 4 teams make the playoffs, that is the first. That is the first to see all 4 teams make the playoffs. It's crazy.
That would be crazy. Yeah, because every team has talent. You could argue, best quarterback maybe Russell Wilson, and worse probably people would say, either Goff or Jimmy G. But speaking of Jimmy G, do you think he'll be back next year?
Yes, I think he'll be back next year. I feel like y'all paid him the money to get y'all to Super Bowl, and I feel like he just wasn't healthy this year. Like the ankle injury really took him out. He tried to come back and play on it. It just wasn't working out. And I feel like he's going to come back 100%. Kyle Shanahan is going to put some more pieces around Garoppolo. They're going to upgrade the offensive line. Staley did what? I think he retired, right? If I'm not mistaken. Staley retired. And there's a few other players that went out on the offensive line for the 49ers. Once you get your right pieces in place, 49ers can go back to the Super Bowl because this NFC is wide open every single year to a point where 49ers always have a chance to make the playoffs. And Cohen Henry, I know that you are a Raiders fan and you said you hate San Francisco. Oh, well, that's your opinion. I'm not going to get into that. That's a Raiders fan for you, just to let you know. But yeah, I think Garoppolo is a good quarterback. He understudied Tom Brady, so he knows how to win in this league. I just think once he gets healthy and the rest of your team gets healthy, y'all be back to the promised land. I can see it happening.
Yeah, I second that. With Jimmy G, there's a lot of noise from fans. Either they love him or they hate him. But the facts are, when Jimmy G was hurt, the season was basically gone. The season, you look at the season where after we signed him to that contract, he got hurt against KC, torn ACL. The season was done. And he comes back next year and he leads us to the Super Bowl. Now, was he the driving force behind us going to the Super Bowl? I would say he's top 3. He touches the ball on every single play. So it's not like we won in spite of him. People who say that, I don't get it. But for Jimmy G to be successful, everything, as you mentioned, has to, work well. Everything, we got to be healthy. And our Super Bowl run, what was interesting is everything went our way. The only injury we had was like D4. He was in and out of the lineup. He could never really stay healthy. And that sucks for D4. That is, his body is, you could say, failing him. But when Jimmy G was healthy, he brought us to the Super Bowl. Mostert was toting that rock, and it was a beautiful thing to see. And I think we should stick with Jimmy G next year, even though I know the Niners, we owe him, I think it's like $25 million next year. And if the Niners decide to cut him, I think they only owe him like $2 million. But I think the Niners should give him another chance. 2020, we know it's just been a crazy year with everything's going on. The Niners, including all NFL teams, we had no preseason, no regular training camp. Everything was different. Jimmy, the only knock I see on Jimmy G is that he can't stay healthy. Now, if you want to say that as an Niner fan and move on, I can understand that perspective. Like, hey, he just can't stay healthy. I don't want to pay someone that much, and this guy can't stay healthy. I do understand that too, but I feel like we should give him another chance. Not only was he hurt, we had a whole bunch, 18, 20 players on IR at any given point in the season. So I think we should give him another chance. But I definitely think there will be changes in the quarterback room. I don't see how you can bring back Mullins and Beathard. I think the Niners may have to, look past Jimmy and say maybe we need to draft a quarterback and have Shanahan develop him, or maybe get another free agent quarterback that can maybe push Jimmy to, play better and play up to his potential. So it'll be an interesting offseason after the season's over to see what the Niners brass decide to do with Jimmy G.
And my thing about Jimmy G, a lot of people say that the quarterback play is on him. Yes, it is. But people need to fail to realize if you don't have an offensive line, you don't have a quarterback. If people fail to realize that this offensive line for the 49ers have been depleted all year. And then you had Staley retiring, and you have some of your top offensive linemen that was Pro Bowlers last year go down to injury. So when Garoppolo got hurt, it was due to pressure. So if your quarterback get hurt during the pressure, who can you really blame? Can you blame the quarterback, or can you blame the offensive line? So your quarterback is only as good as your offensive line. So it's been really tough on the 49ers offensive line all year long. So I say don't give up on Garoppolo. He's in his third year so far with the 49ers. I feel like you don't need a quarterback change right now. If you want to build these young players, mind you, Garoppolo he's barely 30 years old. So why give up on him? You know what I'm saying? Why give up on him? I mean, yeah, we had Derek Carr for 7 years, and Carr didn't he didn't really do enough for us, but his numbers don't lie. Garoppolo numbers don't lie. Yes, he's good he's good with his running backs. His running backs make him look good too because they can get those yards per carry. But I feel like this year it was just a pandemic year, and it's to a point where you couldn't prepare like you normally prepare for an NFL season. That's why you see so many injuries, so many ACLs, so many torn Achilles. This is just an asterisk year on the NFL season. It's asterisk. I just have to say that, but I feel like Garoppolo is your quarterback. Just give him the pieces. You see what he had when he had Emmanuel Sanders and Deebo Samuel with a George Kittle. You see what he did last year. But now since he got hurt, everybody want to be on a downfall for him. Even when he tore his ACL, it was non-contact. But at the end of the day, it happens. This is part of the game. Injuries is going to happen. So I say keep Garoppolo for at least like between his 5th and 6th year, and then you evaluate because you just never know who's going to be on free agency and who's going to come out the draft.
Yeah, and fan is short for fanatic. And I think some fans, they're obsessed with numbers now more than ever. And everyone's playing fantasy football. Everyone wants that quarterback to have, 30 plus points. They want them to throw for 4 touchdowns, throw for under 400 yards. That's not what Kyle Shanahan wants to do on offense. He wants to run the ball 25 plus times, control the time of possession, and Jimmy, he'll throw between 20 and 25 passes, and that's fine. And I think fans, we want more than that. And honestly, I believe in Shanahan. He took us to the Super Bowl. So if Shanahan believes that Jimmy G's the guy, then he's the guy, and I believe that. If Shanahan says, "Oh, I think we can get someone better in the offseason and the draft," then okay, then I trust in Shanahan. He's earned that trust from me. I can only speak for myself as a 49er fan. He's earned that trust from me to pick his quarterback and to develop the quarterback. So, yeah.
And I think that if you go to keep Garoppolo and just God forbid if something happened next season, this offseason you should go out and get a solid backup. Because I thought that on the Raiders side of things, I thought that we did get a solid backup in Mariota, but this guy has not suited up for us all year long. So he's just taking money from the Raiders. But I feel like you need to go out and get a solid quarterback, a veteran quarterback, so you get to help out with Garoppolo. God forbid if he gets hurt next year. But you got to keep him to evaluate him and see about him next season. Then I think you should evaluate him next season. If he regress like he did this year, then I say move on. But if he progress and he plays at an MVP caliber, just get a solid backup just to be on a security blanket, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. And because when you think about it, Jimmy G, I believe he's almost 30, if not 30. But as far as his NFL career, still pretty young. I mean, he's only he started 5 games for the Niners after he got traded. He had 2 games the next year, and then he played 1 full season. So that's he's only played like 26, 25 games that he started. So that's still pretty young in his career. The thing is, I think what people are disappointed is the contract. He's getting paid, 25 plus million a year, which for quarterbacks now, that's not that much. I mean, Derek Carr is getting like 20, but the contract is a big deal. Also, in the offseason, we have 41, unrestricted free agents. So, if the Niners do decide to get rid of Garoppolo, some of that 25 mil that they're having cap space could go to re-signing other players, because I think the Niners team next year is going to be really different. There's no way we're going to be able to re-sign, all our free agents. It's just not going to happen. So I'm excited to see Niners the next coming weeks and see what they do in the offseason. So, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. They said that he can't stay healthy on the field. Well, tell his offensive line to block. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Tell his offensive line to block, then you won't have a hurt QB.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, the offensive line, it has been a topic of issue because during our Super Bowl run, offensive line was, I would say top 5 in the NFL. We were able to block, we were able to run. And it seems like this year, McGlinchey, he was a first-round pick, top 10 draft pick, and he has definitely regressed. I don't know what happened. I mean, I know Staley retired, and him and Staley were tight, but he's definitely regressed. I don't know. I mean, he does look like he's lost weight. And as an offensive lineman, I don't understand why you would do that unless the coaching staff told him to do that. I don't know. But, yeah, McGlinchey has definitely regressed. Trent Williams, I don't think he's been out due to injury. He's been out due to COVID, and I think he's played good. I don't know if he's necessarily been like a top 5 offensive tackle this year, but he's definitely played better than McGlinchey, that's for sure. He's played good, and he's an agent at the end of the year. So, he's going to want top money, and I don't, if you let Trent go, then what are you going to do at tackle? You're either going to sign a free agent who's probably not going to be as good, or I don't know if you want to spend another draft pick because you already got McGlinchey on the right. So, I mean, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. But, yeah, the offensive line and also, the center position, Kilgore, he's been injury prone throughout his career with the Niners. And, we have a third string center, and that can't help with communication among the offensive linemen. That can't help with continuity. So it's just 2020. It's just been a weird year. A lot of things, just haven't gone the Niners' way. And it sucks. But I think this season shows that Shanahan is definitely a leader, and he still got the team fighting. And, that's one great thing to see, is when you have great leadership that you can they're still fighting. They're still trying to overcome. They still believe that they can, win games. Because like you said, no one thought that we would beat the Rams, right? Like no one thought. I thought, Jay and the Bay thought so, because I believe in the team. I believe in the leadership, and I don't believe in Jared Goff, clearly. But no one, not many people thought we would beat the Rams, and we did. We had to do it. And we won. So.
And shout out to Butcher's Block and Patriots Talk. He put on there and said that the Niners are ranked 8th in the league when it comes to the offensive line. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
But it's been times where it's been times where that's why Garoppolo got hurt, because I think as offensive line, I think he fell into the offensive line fell into his ankle and he fell, so he had a high ankle sprain. And he re-aggravated or something like that. So it was just it wasn't like an injury that it just accidentally happened.
Yeah. It was a fluky injury, and it sucks that he's out for the year. And I see Damian Hernandez says we should have kept Alex Smith.
I disagree.
I don't know about that.
I disagree.
I mean, Alex Smith had that one great year with Harbaugh, and then he got replaced by Cap. But I see you. I like Skittles. What's going on? And yeah, and as far as Butcher Block's comment, the Niners ranked 8th in the league when it comes to offensive line. That's a great stat. But unfortunately, with offensive line, I would say it's like the thankless job. Usually, if you hear about offensive linemen, usually they're doing a bad job. like last year when the Niners were on the Super Bowl run, we didn't hear about McGlinchey, playing at an All-Pro level. I didn't hear that much. We just saw that he did his job, he protected, and he did a good job. Now that he's not playing as well, oh, he's garbage, get rid of him. So unfortunately, with offensive linemen, usually when you hear about them, it's because they're not doing as good of a job as they should, and they're definitely not performing as well as they did last year. And I see Damon Hernandez. Jimmy G is good, but he can't stay healthy, and that is a huge problem. That's what's frustrating because I think he plays good enough in Shanahan's system, but obviously the best ability is availability, and Jimmy G has struggled with that. So that's the most frustrating part with Jimmy is like he can't stay healthy. And I feel like if we bring him back next year, and if he can't stay healthy, if he has another injury-riddled season, I don't see how you could bring him back again. I just don't see it. And that's his biggest problem because I think when he's on the field and he's healthy, we've seen it. He can deliver the ball. He can make throws within Shanahan's offense. And when he's in the game, it's clearly, it's a different game. He uplifts his other offensive talent among him, his teammates. So hopefully he can come back. Hopefully we bring him back next year and he'll be healthy. Everyone will,
So we're going to head out because, it's almost the end of the show here, talking 49ers. I think this is going to be the same day at the same time every week, correct?
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, Tuesdays at 10, especially it'll be perfect for the Monday night game that's coming up. So I can do, like a game show the next day. So yeah, that should be good. Yeah.
And make sure y'all subscribe to Jay and the Bay. I did put it in the comments there. Make sure y'all go over and subscribe to Jay and the Bay. All 49ers content. You want to see some entertaining stuff about 49ers wins and losses? Definitely go over to Jay and the Bay. I'm telling you, he got a good channel over there. He's 50 subscribers away from 200. So let's go over there and help him out and get him to the 200 subscriber mark. And yeah, man. So on Instagram, I have his Instagram link is in the description. Your Twitter is in the description as well. And if you want to follow everybody, including Jay and the Bay on the Spotlight Sports Network, all those links are in the description as well. I blame the Super Bowl loss on Shanahan, not Jimmy. We'll talk about that probably on next week's show. Keep that energy for next week. Butcher Block and Patriot Thought. That's my boy Bobby, man. He always coming here and supporting us, man. So shout out to him.
Yeah.
Okay, so we gonna take this last question here. He said, question, if Jimmy G isn't the quarterback for the 49ers, do y'all see him signing? Do you see them signing a QB in free agency like Dak Prescott or drafting a quarterback?
I would say, I don't know if Shanahan wants to draft a quarterback, develop him. It takes time to learn Shanahan's system. Some say it takes like 2 years to learn his system. So I think only thing is if you get rid of Jimmy G, you get rid of that salary, you shed the $25 million. I mean, Dak Prescott, do you think he's going to take less than $30 million a year? I mean, is Dak Prescott better than Jimmy G? I mean, I don't know about that. So that's a good question. I think they would maybe get a bridge quarterback, like someone like, I hate to say it, maybe like Ryan Fitzpatrick or something like that. Like somebody who's a vet, doesn't cost an arm and leg. Maybe I would say get a bridge quarterback like that, then draft a quarterback maybe in the second, third round, maybe first round. And then that quarterback will develop under the bridge quarterback. And because it's either that or I don't think they're going to go for like a Matt Stafford, a Matt Ryan, a Kirk Cousins. Like, I don't think.
I mean, you have that. If you go at the Matt Ryan, you have that Matt Ryan, Kyle Shanahan, team up again. Them two went to the Super Bowl as well. So I could definitely see a Matt Ryan going to the 49ers. But as far as Ryan Fitzpatrick, nah, I think this might be his last year, in my opinion.
Yeah, Ryan, I ain't gonna lie, Ryan Fitzpatrick lit us up.
Right, and then you gotta think about it too, though. They benched him unexpectedly for Tua, so that probably gave him a wake up call. Like, listen, y'all going to just second fiddle to me, knowing darn well that I was a starting quarterback and I was helping y'all win games, and y'all take me out for Tua. What?
They shouldn't have benched him. He was playing good, but I think they know because they know. And I think Fitzpatrick knows that he's not the future, so they want to give it to Tua. But Tua, I think he had one good game and one so-so game against Denver. But yeah, back to Damien's question. I think they should stick with Jimmy G, and if they don't, I think they'll just get a middle of the road quarterback and draft a young quarterback to develop. I think that's what they'll do.
Damian Hernandez Trubisky's not going to the 49ers. Stop it. No Trubisky, bro. We're not doing Trubisky over here. Not on the West Coast. He needs to stay on the East Coast.
That's funny. But Damian, I appreciate you for having me on. And shout out to the Spotlight Sports Network. Make sure everyone who's in the comment section and everyone who watches this, make sure you subscribe to the Spotlight Sports Network. And you see the name on the screen. My name is Jay intheBay, and I appreciate Darian for having me on today. And I can't wait to see y'all next week and talk about the 49ers and Bills game. Appreciate it.
And yeah, and just to let you know, it's going to be some videos coming out. He's going to do a preview video of that game, recap video of that game. But thank y'all for tuning in as well. Jay intheBay, this is your show. I'll let you run things. I know we had our, NFL conversations as well. But just to let y'all know that at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, our other colleague, Jake from the Snake Sports Talk Show, will be live with his show at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Y'all do not want to miss that. It is the Spotlight Sports Network. We're going to send y'all out with our merch. Make sure y'all go get our merch over there at the Spotlight Sports Network. And make sure you subscribe to Jay intheBay. Let's get him to 200 subscribers. Peace, love. Anything else you want to say? 49. All right. So we'll see y'all later, man. Peace.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Thank you.